You guys are always asking me what foundation I use, and I never have the heart to tell you that I don't use a foundation. I actually just use a tinted moisturizer because I actually have a really strict skincare routine, which at some point I might actually detail for you, but we shall see. When I said yesterday, I think I'm getting allergies because I'm definitely congested, but I don't feel sick. But yeah, no, I'm congested. I was wrong. I actually am a little bit sick. And I stayed home from work today, and because I physically can't stop doing things, I decided to just make a third video for this week, which is gonna be not a frequent thing. It goes on like this, and then I smoosh it around, and then I pat it down with a beauty blender. I thought I would just do a little chatty get ready with me kind of thing because they're fun and they're easy and I enjoy telling stories. So let's talk about cosplay and confidence, because something I actually do get questions about on a frequent enough basis is how I have like the confidence to do cosplay. And additionally, anytime I say that I do cosplay, I get a lot of my friends and like close acquaintances saying, oh, I wish I had the confidence to do that. And if I'm like so honest, I don't either. Like, I don't have the confidence for it either. I just do it. Like, I've been cosplaying for like 15 years at this point, I think. And most of the time, I haven't been particularly confident. When I first started out cosplay, I was, I think, like 14 or 15. I want to say I was young. When I truly started like actually actively cosplaying was when I met my friends in the following year. We all met just through classes, mutual interests, all being interested in anime, all wanting to try cosplay, but like not being sure where to start. At that point, I really didn't have the confidence for it. I was like scared to go out in public. Like, I didn't go into it confident either. And I think a lot of people think you need to be confident in order to be successful in it and accomplish it, and that's just not the case. You can do things scared. So when I started cosplaying, I was just like a kid, and we started to cosplay together, and it made it easier because I had this big group of friends that was also doing it. So I wasn't, you know, the weird one in the costume. I had a bunch of friends that were also with me being the weird ones in the costumes. Back then, group cosplay was a big thing. So we'd have these like big groups of cosplayers, and for every big group, like, you needed like certain characters, so we would convince other friends in the group to be those characters. My first big cosplay was Alois Trancy, and still is to this day Alois Trancy. He is, I want to say, the biggest influence of all of this. And with that being said, I'm going to pause in order to show you something, which is this guy right here. It's the contract symbol, because it made such like a impact on my life. Yeah, Alois Trancy was my first big cosplay, along with Rin from Vocaloid, and those two combined, I was frequently out and about in cosplay, and sort of doing that and just exposure therapy, just being in it constantly, led me to face my fears. As I started cosplaying more, I got more confident. Like, I didn't start out confident. I think a lot of people that I talk to about this, they think that I have always been confident, when I'm in cosplay, and that's just very much not true. The confidence came with time and came with years of appearing in cosplay in public. Anyone is capable of cosplaying. I wouldn't say that it's restricted to one kind of person or one level of confidence. Because if you're going to do something, you might just have to do it scared. And that's just the reality. Like, you're never going to be ready for anything that initially scares you, so what is holding you back exactly? I would argue that even nowadays, I'm not necessarily always confident. I would also say that there are certain cosplays that I feel more confident in than others. Certain things that I refuse to wear on camera because I don't like the way that they make me look. And I just kind of roll with the stuff that does make me feel confident. I think there's like a lot of emphasis placed on being ready for things, when in reality you're just never going to be ready for the majority of things that come at you, because that's life. That's how life works. Life just kind of happens to you, from what I've experienced, and you're either ready to roll with the punches or not, and that part is up to you. What actually happens to you is not always up to you. That is a wild card. I think when I started cosplaying, I was never really expecting like a level of confidence to come from it. I was just kind of hanging out with my friends and also in a costume. But then because I cosplayed Alois, it actually like led to that becoming like one of my main characters. Like, he was one of my main people that I cosplayed for years. Cosplaying him, he's like a dramatic character. He's outlandish. I mean, admittedly, he's insane. Like, he's erratic. Like, he's a lot of things. So cosplaying him, I think, is what like truly gave me the confidence that I wanted, because I had to kind of be more out there. So cosplaying him, like, I had to encounter a lot of fears that I didn't know I had, like with how I presented myself. The shorts that he wears, admittedly, I'm showing a lot of skin. So people expected me to be more outward and confident and would like approach me as such, and I would be expected to react in that manner. And at the time, like, that wasn't really like how I carried myself. So I had to kind of tap into being a character and like being someone that isn't myself and acting as someone who is like not necessarily confident, but is at least like outward and like a little more erratic. And he was fun. He was fun to cosplay, because being like more of a like confident character, I guess people expect you to be more confident. And then I was also in like these big groups where I had like my friends' support in order to be these like bigger than life characters. I liked characters that were dramatic and outlandish because I knew I could play them well, and flamboyant because I could play them well, and then I could go home and I didn't have to be that character anymore. I could just sort of be me. I don't know if I provided any good advice, but people do ask me how I can cosplay and like how I can like be confident. And the secret of the matter is that I'm not like at all. I'm just kind of putting myself into a role that I'm not necessarily comfortable with and working around that and doing things scared, whether or not I'm ready to do them. I may cosplay frequently, but like I'm never confident in it. I always look back at like my photos and my videos and like feel weird about them. I don't necessarily feel like I like look good most of the time or like feel like I nailed that or like did well in something. A lot of the times I just do it anyway, and then I come to appreciate that look later. First couple times that I was in Ningguang, I didn't like how the makeup looked. I was like, yeah, it's all right, but like I'm not doing her justice. And then of course more recently, like when I put on that cosplay, I feel like the top of the world, like the cream of the crop, but that was like not always the case. The same with Alois. It's like I've been cosplaying Alois for God knows how long, for 10 years now, and even sometimes now I put on Alois and I think that I don't look good. Like, a lot of it is just doing the thing anyway. So if I could give you any advice to new cosplayers, like, just do it. Even if you have to do it scared, just do it. Like, just enjoy yourself. Do it for you. For, like, the future you who wants to look back on photos and think that, oh, that was a fun thing. I'm glad I did that. Don't do it for anybody else. I'm gonna drink some green tea and go back to bed and pretend that I'm not sick. Because if I manifest it, it'll be true. And I'm wearing this like sweater that an ex gave me that has like a Eugene coffee brand on it. It makes me feel like I have like a little connection to home, which is nice when I feel homesick. Shout out to that ex, if they see this, but thanks for inadvertently making me feel a little less homesick. It's been a weird month, but I'm gonna go. Let me know if you want me to post a skincare routine, because it is a lot of work. I genuinely dedicate like an hour a day, like total, to my skincare routine. But I will say I haven't worn foundation, aside from in cosplay, for about 3 years now. So take that as you will. Thank you so much. Tune back in next week. I'm gonna try to not post as often as I have been, because I would rather post twice a week and be like a little mysterious. All right, bye.